Good morning. This is Good News Friday. First, some sanity from Norway, this beautiful country, Norway. Former Minister of Justice, Per-willy. This is quite remarkable. He must have been part of the elite, right? So now he suggests that Tommy Robinson should get asylum in Norway. It's fantastic. I love it. And here's sanity from Sweden. Yes, the chairman of the Sweden Democrats, the Nationalist Party, his name is Jimmie Åkesson. He can be brilliant sometimes. And this is from a recent speech. He said, "Behind this total dismantling of the country Sweden stands the left-wing liberal establishment." And he asked whether they are proud to have created a society where the elderly cannot afford to collect their medications, where segregation is growing, where criminal gangs are taking over and cancer patients die waiting for surgery. Yeah, it's all true. The welfare system in Sweden is crumbling, and yes, the criminal gangs are taking over. And then he answered the question himself. He said, yes, they are probably proud because they do not live in reality. After all, they are fulfilled by their own goodness. They have ruined our country and they are proud. Brilliant, Jimmie Åkesson. Very, very good. Now, here's some sanity from Italy. The Interior Minister Matteo Salvini closed one of Europe's largest migrant camps. It's the large Mineo camp in Sicily. Previously they had 4,000 immigrants, and this is now closed down. And the decision to close the camp was taken last month. Listen to this, the number of asylum seekers in 1 year decreased from 2,526 to only 127. Salvini pays tribute to the closure and points out that this will make the area safer. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going on there, apparently. One story was this African immigrant from the camp murdered an older Italian couple on the island. You know, Italy has previously been the main gateway into Europe, the main one. And now the number of immigrants arriving in Italy has fallen from a total of 181,000 in 2016 to 3,000 so far this year. It's decreased by almost 97%. This gives hopes to all of us, all of the nations here in Europe. If you have the correct leader, good things will happen. Finally, I want to talk about feminists. Feminists pissing people off, pissing normal people off. Yeah. You know, people look at them and they say, I don't like this, I don't want to be like them. I think it's good news. It's a story, anyway. This is about the US women's soccer team. They won the World Cup recently. And, it's as if they decided to be acting like assholes. And, some people will say you can't call them assholes because they are women and they are being oppressed or whatever. But they are. They are acting like jerks. So, I'm gonna say it. And these fans, these feminist lefty fans, they praised them for being jerks, basically. Wow. There was this story. There's a lot of stories about this team, actually. The US midfielder, Ali Long, after this victory, she was holding this American flag. And then this Megan Rapinoe, the star of the team, urged her to join in on a celebration in front of the cameras. So Long dropped the flag to the ground. Yeah, so to take some pictures, she dropped the flag and went over to get the pictures. This is being an asshole, of course. Why didn't she bring the flag? Why did she drop it to the ground? Yeah. And some suggest that this was not an accident. And I don't think it was. And this Rapinoe, she's quite famous. They talk about her here in Sweden. You know, the feminists, the lefties, they sort of approve of her, and some, you know, they get this strange look in their eyes when they talk about Rapinoe. She's an asshole. She is. Yeah. And she said at one point that if the team wins the World Cup, she's not going to the fucking White House. Yeah. And some will say this is a wonderful thing that she's saying this. She's so liberated, whatever. I don't get it. I just see her as an asshole. That's all. There was another story. Kelly O'Hara and Ali Long, again, posted on Instagram. And this was addressed to company owners. And they said, "Dear bosses and supervisors, in case you're living under a rock, this Friday is our World Cup quarterfinal against France. And it's going to be a big one. We kindly ask that you give every employee the day off so that they can eat a hearty lunch, get emotionally ready, bust out all their United States gear, and mentally prepare for what will be an epic game. They will be back on Monday, maybe." Right. So, if you don't know the schedule of the Women's Soccer World Cup, you're living under a rock, apparently. No, they are being assholes. That's all I can say. Okay, I wish you a great weekend. Bye.